Gosh, the people's elbow is more intense.
The elbow is real. Oh my.
Oh my gosh.
Got it.
We need to be very, very careful to not adjust the areas that are injured. So if you adjust an area that's injured, the body's going to right away
First time
protect
I've ever
it.
heard that.
Go ahead and tell me what's going on, and then I'll go through what I've seen.
About 9 years ago, I was leaving the gym. I slipped and fell on some ice. Woke up about 3 days later, had bad sciatica go down my right side, could barely stand up. It was immobilizing. Went to about 2 different chiropractors over about a month, got moving and walking again.
Okay.
And then since about then, everything up my right side's been stiff.
Okay.
Been through about 8 or 9 chiropractors. I've been to orthopedic. They've pumped me full of steroids, ablations, injections.
That's all, yeah.
Nothing's helped. Everything's temporary. It was just my hip, upper back area.
Okay.
And then I have a 2-year-old. He's going to be 3 in 2 weeks. He was a heavy baby.
Yeah.
So carrying him around, it's moved up into my neck.
Yeah.
So now it's up in here. And then now it's in my shoulder and down in my elbow. I have tennis elbow now.
Okay.
That started about a month ago.
Okay.
And I can't even do curls or anything anymore. So I've had to go to a machine.
Okay.
So it's progressing and getting worse.
On your cervical MRI, it talks about a protrusion, uncovertebral osteophyte. So a bone spur grew in your kind of middle upper neck, and it's more severe on the right side. Foraminal stenosis. So we have narrowing. Now this wouldn't be going down your arm. This would just be neck pain. This would be just the neck side up this area here.
And that is stiff, pretty constant. Like this muscle that goes under here is pretty tight all the time, and it's, yeah.
The arm would be more, there's a disc bulge down here at the bottom, C7T1. This would be more of your hand area. What I want to focus on is that many of the vertebrae in your neck have an unremarkable appearance, meaning that there's nothing to see here, that there's a couple areas of injury and most of the spine is not injured. And I know everybody's been focusing on doing a nerve ablation where they hook up a needle into your medial branch of your nerves in your neck and then they cook them to death.
Burn them.
I don't know. I'm just curious. I don't get out of my office very much. I'm in a little cave here. I don't talk to many other people. But I'd like to, what's the plan here? Is the plan just live another couple more years, or how is this going to? The muscles are tight to protect. I read in your report talked about muscle tightness, and so muscles are guarding. Those aren't the problem. Those are the effects of a problem. The nerves giving you pain signals are a call to action. It's an alert to a problem. It's the body's trying to tell you something, which is that this area is doing more work than it's designed to do, and it's upset about it, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Which means that the main engine of your neck must be underworking to allow the lower neck to be overstressing. Has anybody brought up the loss of cervical curve? Has anybody talked about your cervical lordosis?
No, my last chiropractor, I reacted pretty well to the Y strap. We did that every 2 weeks for a period of time, and that seemed to help quite a bit.
I got you. I mean, go ahead, yeah.
I don't know if that was,
The difficulty is that you're too young. You're too young so the discs are actually glued to the end plates in here. And I'm asking your neck to be curved, or asking if anybody's brought up the fact that your neck belongs curved, and pulling it straight brings us to the wrong alignment, right? So doing the Y strap does not bring us to our cervical lordosis, which is the curve we developed in the first 6 months of life and is necessary to do a couple things. One, the vertebrae interlock with themselves when there's a curve. You actually can't rotate the lower neck when there's a lordosis. It actually shuts down the lower neck, the areas that are under injury, if there's a curve in your neck. It forces the mobility to be your atlas, which is where most of the work should be happening. You're right, pulling it, you can, if you have stenosis, we can temporarily traction or invert you and pull open these holes to give some temporary relief. But after you leave, your neck is still in the wrong alignment and the forces are still going to the wrong areas.
Makes sense.
And then when you got tractioned, the parts of your spine that were stiff didn't traction, only the parts that were loose that got tractioned.
Yeah.
So we're actually increasing the disparity between what's tight and what's loose, further, to me, exacerbating the problem, which is that your lower neck is so loose, it's your first tooth that you chew on kind of idea, and we want it to make it the last tooth that shows up to work.
Okay.
The cervical lordosis, then, my point is, it saddens me that that's not been brought up, that the loss of your curve is the core problem. Forward head posture creates the environment for the loss of the curve, And the follow-up, which is the upper neck gets tight, frozen, and then the lower neck becomes the primary engine, primary worker of the spine. When you overwork a joint, the joint will grow. That's not a disease. I know in the reports it talks about degenerative joint disease. Yeah. It's not a disease for a joint to grow. If a joint getting bigger is a disease, then a muscle getting bigger is a disease. It's an adaptation to stress. When we're dealing with disc injury, we're dealing with annular tears. So the discs go from the normal healthy discs, and you can see the nucleus is wrapped in these layers here. It's like a bunch of wrapping paper. And the first process that happens is that the annulus gets torn.
Okay.
And the tears aren't just in this direction, they'd be like a cut this direction, right? So if I have a cut on the tear, on the annulus, it's like a piece of fabric that has a tear in it, right?
Okay.
I have a piece of fabric with a tear. Now if I sit there and pull and traction the spine, this disc is glued to that end plate. And I'm sitting there tractioning this. If there are tears in the annulus, we could be further tearing them. Now this has no feeling, so no one cares.
Wow.
But we have disc injury. We know it. We have MRIs to prove it. Now the annular tears, I pointed here on the front, but the annular tears are almost always posterior, which is the back side. They'll be right back here. The front part of the disc is, this is the back, this is the front. The annular tears are posterior, meaning they're on the back side. And so the cuts are on the back side. The front is actually not injured. So when we go into extension, we open the front and we compress the back. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So the tears that are on the posterior side get like a butterfly stitch. We want to close these wounds, and we want to gape the front part of the disc, which has been compressed, when we lose the curve. You follow me?
Yeah.
Right? So the loss of curve, it'd be like like this model shows a posterior or posterior lateral disc herniation, right? So we want to compress that back. We actually close that injury on the back, and then dilate and decompress the front. And that actually allows the disc to vacuum effect go back away from the front, or sorry, from the posterior back towards the front.
Wow.
So traction, I know it's difficult because half the spine has feeling. Everybody's lost in the wilderness here, right? So we're not treating things that need to be treated because they don't have any feeling, nobody cares. And then we're doing things, nerve ablations and muscle relaxants to the muscles because those have feeling. But those are just the effects of, they're just doing stuff in response to, when we have a disc injury, the muscles around here are going to be tight to try to guard that area. So, all right.
And that's kind of what happened as I've been through so many chiropractors. I sometimes get so stiff, I go in, I can't even be adjusted.
Sure.
And so I just become a number at that point. And, 2 weeks, see you in 2 weeks.
We need to be very, very careful to not adjust the areas that are injured. So if you adjust an area that's injured, the body's going to right away
First time I've ever heard that.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? You have injuries, and so we want to leave those areas alone. Your lower back needs to not be popped. Your lower neck needs to not be adjusted. Mm-hmm. And when we do I call it a manipulation because it's not really an adjustment. The Y strap is a manipulation. You're just, whatever's loosest moves the most.
Yeah.
It's not targeting an area. You're seeing how many vertebrae we can traction, right? But I just got done telling you, it's not supposed to be ortho. This spine is not supposed to be like that. That is incorrect position. So just tractioning is wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know how, if you just want to live another 5 years, then okay. But if we want to live another 40 years, we have to restore the normal alignment. And that is difficult, and so nobody talks about it. And the two structures you can have feeling, by the way, are the joints, these little knuckles that glide over each other, and then that nerve. Right hip is high. Yeah, you're getting away from this right side.
My last chiropractor gave me a heel lift in my left shoe.
Did he measure your actual legs, or do you just try to?
He looked on my x-ray.
It's okay. All right. Your hip height are off because you have a lower back disc injury, right? So we're pinching nerves. You just got done telling me, Ed, I got pain. I got problems. When you pinch this right here, your body's going to shift, right? So now my left leg looks short because my body's trying to alleviate stress here. Yeah. Putting a heel lift in then throws the weight back on the right, which then makes the hip have to even hike up even higher. How do we correct hip height misalignments? We need to take the stress off the lower back, which created the hip height misalignment. which is your middle back is tight. You have no curve in your lower back, which nobody's brought up. Just turn your head towards me, left. Okay, any pain?
No.
Turn your right. Any pain?
Yes.
Okay. Your range of motion to the right was much farther than your left. I mean, you're very restricted that way, relatively.
That's it.
Your right goes way farther. Head back, exhale. Come on, right. Yeah, there's your problem. Deep breath in. I got you. Exhale. Nothing, okay. Deep breath, I got you. All right, stay there. Okay, all right, stay there. Stay there, yeah, just stay there. Just get it in a second. Why'd you do that? Why'd you squeeze so hard? I am checking how functional your thoracic cage is,
Okay.
right? So if this part of your back is tight, when you bend, all the bending is going to happen here because this part of your back is frozen.
Gotcha.
It's easy for the thoracic cage to be tight because we have ribs to protect our organs.
Mm-hmm.
And so we should have been told as a teenager to be proactive in keeping that area loose. Because we live our lives with those, I just try to adjust 12, 14 vertebrae. I got about 3 or 4 to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're running on a skeleton crew in there.
Jeez, yeah.
And the weight of your chest plus my weight, we probably put 200 something pounds of force into those vertebrae. Well, it moved with 250 pounds. It should. I had to like step on the piano key, get the piano key to move. Aren't you happy yet? No, because the piano key should move effortlessly. The purpose of the side posture adjustment is to loosen the sacroiliac joint. Okay, a lot of chiropractors will adjust the lower back, and if that's happening, we need to run out the door.
Yeah.
I do not. We have injuries. We have 3.
I've actually had to tell my last chiropractor to stop because
Okay.
it was putting me into that sciatica after the adjustment. So
Right.
we stopped touching this the last 6 months.
I might not even adjust here. I'm just curious to feel that SI joint.
Sure.
I'm just gonna feel the joint. I'm just curious. I want the lower back arched. There is benefit to this adjustment, but not. If I can't get this joint to move without abusing this joint, you're not allowed to be adjusted on your side.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we need to spend 10 visits unlocking this joint so that it moves easier, so that we can move this joint without moving these joints.
Okay.
Right? I'm just curious to feel this joint here. I got you.
My
Breathe.
tailbone gets sore too sometimes.
So up here in the middle back. Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Other side. I'm just gonna feel other side. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. Face up for me. Okay. How was that? Just a twist like that?
That was
it
good.
Yeah.
A little bit of tenderness right
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
when you had me on this
Yeah.
side. And then I also have
Yeah.
rib flare left side. I haven't been able to.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right. We'll get it.
Mhm.
Let me see what's going on. Wow. I mean, his SCMs are just. I can't even feel his atlases. I can't even feel his atlas because these muscles are supposed to relax right now, but the muscles are in guard mode because of protection. Your atlas is up here somewhere. I don't know.
All right, dig for it.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to. Real gentle. I'm just curious. I got you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. We'll get it. He's got a stuck atlas.
That's why I'm here.
That's pretty tight. So no touching that lower neck. All the focus is going to be right on your main engine, right off the occiput, right up in there, where it's not injured, where it's unremarkable. Well, Dr. Ed, if you spend 10 minutes massaging me, the bone will move easier. Correct, but it shouldn't require a 10-minute massage to get the bone to move.
Is it normally that stiff every time you
Always.
go? Yeah.
Yeah, we
And I
got
have marbles going all the way down where you are.
Yes, sir. Yeah. What happens is, as chiropractors, it's easy to move joints that are loose because they're loose, right?
Mhm.
It's difficult to move what's stiff, and it's even more difficult to only move what's stiff and not move what's loose. Like the game Jenga, you're just trying to move one piece without knocking the whole tower over, and that is chiropractic in essence. Is Jenga. It's we're trying to move. We're trying to adjust, hopefully, not manipulate all the vertebrae. We're trying to adjust certain vertebrae and not adjust other ones.
Mhm.
Wow. Oh boy. So everything's going to be above and below and to the side and around. All right.
You getting in there?
Yeah, that's got to go down. This upper back is frozen. Upper rib is raised up right here. We got to open up this channel. This is what's causing that essentially thoracic outlet. You're getting pressure on the nerves going down your arm because this rib here is elevated. That's got to go down.
Is that the first rib?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Yeah, right there. That's the rib underneath there. Yeah, it's all
Woo-wee.
gunked up here. This is why you can't turn your head left. This is all in the way here. It's actually a frozen left upper atlas and a right lower abuse. The right side is overstressed because it's not. The left side is underworking. The right upper side is underworking also, but this is the most underfunctioning vertebrae is right there.
Oh yeah, you found it.
As when I turned your head left, you couldn't turn your head left very far. It was
Yeah.
like my neck doesn't go this way.
And that's what I've been noticing too. My mobility's been getting a lot worse, and I was like, I gotta get this taken care of.
Yeah, we gotta get your left
Oh,
side.
that feels great.
Similar to the tires in your car, if the alignment's not correct, the tires wear out unevenly.
Yeah.
We don't blame the rubber and say Michelin sold me a diseased tire. It's the alignment, and nobody's even bringing up alignment. The lordosis is the natural curvature that your spine needs to be in for it to age evenly, for your spine to work as a team. When we lose the curve, we create mechanical imbalances, areas of hypermobility, areas of hypomobility, and that's it. Yeah, right there. That's where it's all clogged.
Did you find a spot?
Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah.
Just trying to unlock this wad
Yep.
of
Oh yeah.
glue right here.
That would probably explain the headaches when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, that's a big piece of it. 100%. It's
Yeah, if I fall asleep on 2 pillows, I wake up in the morning, I'm in bad shape. I have to be pretty flat.
yeah. You can't have your head propped up so much that
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Bing.
Get the idea,
Yeah.
right?
Great.
Notice it was just that one guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it was clunk. I mean, the sound it made was
Yeah.
that bone has not moved in a while. You gotta get off that right side. No sleep on the right side if you can. Just I want complete avoidance.
Okay.
You know, your
I
head.
typically sleep on my back.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just don't have your head turned right. Then.
Okay.
Try to have a little bit of left rotation, or just have the head straight, or just I can't sleep my head straight, so I just do a little bit
So
of.
no to the right. No.
Yeah, I would get off that right side.
Okay.
Your head has a massive drift. It's like I'm driving on a flat road. I let go of the steering wheel. The car's just pulling to the right,
Yeah.
and that's why you're wearing out the right side because you use it 60-40. You're not
Okay.
using it 50-50 here. It's the avoidance of this. Something happened here, probably even prior to your
So
fall.
you're saying left side.
This is tight. This is tight. This is abused.
Okay.
Abuse, cause, effect. The left upper is the tightest part of your spine. When you turn your head left, the joints on the left have to come together. So in order for you to have range of motion in left cervical rotation, the joints have to all slide fully shut. You can't do that because there's a wad of gunk
Yeah.
in there that prevents you from going left. So because of that, you're in right abuse because you're getting away from an injury on your left upper. So when we're on the neck dental in a second, it's a retainer. It's going to hold you like this, and then we're going to have a little bit of left rotation. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
To compress the left, and that'll open up the right. The right side will open up and give you some relief
Wow.
as we go back into the left. Is our exiting strategy. But this is how we're going to leave, like that. This is like a C minus. The left was an F. Okay, both on grade scores, but this relatively, I don't have a lump up here, like I have. Somebody up north has got to be able to find that guy right there and work that out of your neck. Yeah. This goes back to your teenage years, is what I'm trying to say. The alignment's been off for a lot longer than 6 years.
Well, I've
And then,
heard that you say that in one of your other patients, that sometimes the injuries up to
Right.
10 years back.
right,
So that's when I fell off a very high ladder.
right, you're getting it. 10 to 15 years even to get to
You
it.
made me think back, and like I said, I don't know when this injury, well, I fell on the ice, and then it obviously started hurting and being an
Right.
issue.
Right,
And then I started thinking back, I'm like, well, that's when I fell off that ladder.
you got it. It takes a minimum of 10 years to get a disc to even bulge.
Makes sense.
So if you have an injury and then 2 years later take an image, that can't be from that injury. It had to have been at least 8-10 years prior.
Yeah, and that's right around that timeline.
Yeah. Right up. There. Shoulder down. Oh yeah, he loves hiking. He loves hiking. All right, I'm done. All right, good. So his core problems right here on his left middle. This is where it's the stiffest part. He's been rolling his right side, which is already moving. And I'm telling him how we need to focus on what's stiff to take the stress off the area that's overworked. But this left upper side here is the tightest part of his back, and that's what's hiking this. He's in avoidance of this, and so all the work is getting thrown to the right side because he's in left middle back avoidance. And then this really is a reflection of the neck. Imagine 5 dominoes, right?
Mhm.
If I hit the one domino, it hits the next one, and then all the way down to the last guy,
Sure.
right? So we have direct and indirect causes. What directly caused the last domino to fall? Well, the
Mhm.
domino right prior to it, right?
Right.
But indirectly, it was the first domino that moved that created the chain reaction. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So what caused this? Well, do you follow me?
Yep.
It's the upper neck that even creates this. It's all the upper neck. That left upper part of your neck creates this thing, and so then this creates the right lower abuse. But yeah, right here. You got to find somebody up there in Kentucky, and I wouldn't even tell them about your lower back. I would just tell them your middle back feels stiff right here.
Okay.
That's your. Don't even bring up L4, L5.
Okay.
Just say, well, what brings you today? My middle back feels stiff.
Okay.
Especially here on this left side, right there. Yeah, can you help me dig into that and help me unlock that? I feel like because this is frozen, other parts of my spine are having to compensate and work harder. Really? Huh, that's interesting. I've never heard that before. Yeah, I think my right lower part of my back is just overstressed because I don't like to chew on this tooth right here.
Yeah.
I don't like to bend in here. I have an old injury when I was 10 years old and I fell and I got hit right here. Something happened and that quit on you.
Yep. No one's been in there.
You're right. Yeah. All right. The best analogy for you to take home with you is if I get punched in my face swells up,
Yeah.
right? And if they inject anti-inflammatories into my face, but every day I get punched in the face, I don't think my face will never not be swollen. I think every day it's going to be swollen if I keep on getting decked in the face.
Yep.
The only way for the face not be swollen is to stop getting punched in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. I realized real quick that it was not a solution for me.
The only way for the right side not to be inflamed is for the stress to be taken off of it.
Yep.
That's it. There's no other way. We have to balance the stresses of your spine, spread them over a larger area, and not have all the forces focused in one small spot.
Usually when I get scraped, I'm like, get in there, go. But this is
Careful, yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. The people's elbow is more intense
the elbow is
than I thought.
real. When you watch your videos and
Right.
people are moaning, you're like, oh, come on. I'm here living it now.
All right. Right there. That
Yep.
is not supposed to feel like that. I felt it when I hugged you. I said, yeah, there's the problem.
So when I get inflamed, that spot is the worst in my mid-back right there.
Okay. The fact that you feel something in here is a good sign.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good sign because it means that it's not completely frozen.
Okay.
It still has some light shining in it. I've been watching a lot of Lord of the Rings. Okay. Yeah. Still, and let the light shine the
I can
brighter.
tell.
There's still some hope.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep.
This is why we can't just throw people on stretches because this part of your back won't participate. It needs a handful of visits to be unlocked so that when we stretch, we have the area that we want stretching bending.
Right.
Okay.
Ooh. Whew. That's it.
How many swipes?
I told my wife I was gonna
Leave
come
your
home look
comment
like
now. Here we
a
go.
piece of salmon.
1, 2, 3. 3 swipes.
Wow.
Here's 4, 5, 6. So if you left your comment, you were correct. Good job. Like, pause here. Yeah, I'm just saying how quickly the mark comes up tells you how much is in there. It's like how many passes with the vacuum cleaner do you,
Mm.
you know, all this should not be here. You can feel the graininess, feel all that,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. The Chinese called it sand. It felt like sand
Mm.
underneath the skin. That's what Sha is, like a ghost or a sand, and Gua means to comb. So they would scrape the sand out and get the grit out of here.
Crunchies.
Yeah, crunchies, yeah. Wow, yeah. That is a significant injury right here, bud. Right here. I mean, it came up real dark, real quick,
Mm.
right there.
Could it also be so many years of CrossFit?
Yeah, I mean, that amplifies stresses, but I would still look at injury underneath that. That'd be like this stuff. Like this, I could see.
Right.
This is like a reddish mark. This is like
It's just a lot darker
A
and
lot
concentrated.
darker
Okay.
in one spot, like somebody spilled a bottle of wine or something
Oh wow.
in one area. It's not just your normal foot traffic,
Okay.
dirt coming in the front door. It's, you know, somebody dropped a bucket of mud in one spot. Okay, what happened there? Yeah. You were kind of asking me about this spot right here. Yeah, I came up real dark right there. Right there.
Oh.
All right. All right. Somebody unlock that joint
Ooh.
right there.
Ooh, that side's worse.
Yep.
Whoa.
I didn't even know that was there, Ed, until you touched it. I know. Nobody showed me.
Yeah.
How did that get so frozen?
I don't know.
I know. Yep.
Oh my.
We're going to emulate this with a piece of foam in a minute. We're going to use it, lay on our back, and hold pressure in here. And care up here is what's going to be, the rest of your life is right up here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
looks great.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. All that in there. You're clocked. That one dark spot was that area right there I found. Press back with your elbow to my elbow a little bit. Press back. There you go. There's some fun stuff here.
This one's really sore up here, so we'll see what you get out of this one.
All right, press back. I got you. Yep. Moved. You're telling me this guy's killing you
Yep.
on the backside, but how about the elbow? How about the tennis elbow?
No. Well, this is where I feel the pain. Right in this area here. 'Cause I guess that's the same, right?
It's your tricep kind of
Okay.
attachment. I got you. I got you. And right there a little bit. Triceps gotta. You've strained the muscle here. Right there.
That's pretty sore.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
been strained. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like right there. There's a mark right there coming out AC joint. This is generally because the shoulders are forward, right? So the shoulder being forward compresses this area constantly. So it's under more stress than it's supposed to be based on the alignment you're in. So as we fix the alignment, the stress on the AC joint here and the glenohumeral joint will reduce because we're resetting the joint back to where it belongs and not where it's straight into. Keep the head straight for 1 second. Then I'm gonna have you tilt your right ear to your shoulder, and in 1 second. In 1 second. Okay, go ahead and tilt your head right. And then go ahead and tilt your head right for me. Tilt. Tilt left. Then go ahead and tilt left. Good sport. If in doubt, keep the head straight. But like I mentioned earlier, remember, I want that left upper side more engaged. It's like a drawer. The drawer is open, but it's also crooked and open. So I want to get more pressure on the side that's more open to level the drawer. Then we take it
Yeah.
straight in. We have to mold and stretch the curve back in your spine. It was stretching that over years that lost it. It's stretching that restores it. The adjustments are necessary to make the spine supple so it can be received. If your neck is a 2x4 and stiff, then it won't bend. And then if it won't bend, then you're not stretching. Yep, trying to stretch those shoulders back. Knees bent for me again. I'm sorry. There we go. All right, you all right?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna make it hard. I always can make it harder. I'm just want to get you used to see what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
We got to start every day. I was a 8-year-old kid. I watched my dad do exercises like this. I mean, not with this device, obviously. This wasn't invented yet, but we had these triangular devices. We called them fulcrums as children. We actually had them made. They were pyramids. The problem is the foam was a lot less dense, and over about 3 to 6 months, the foam would lose its shape. And so they made this high density foam, which lasts a lot longer than the stuff that I grew up using. But same principle is counter stretching, right? We have to go to the opposite extreme to get us centered, right? If you're at +2, we can't just ask for 0. We got to go to -2 to get zeroed out.
Yeah.
So we have to go to the opposite extreme of what your body's used to. And we're going to do this without gravity. We're going to lay down and do it in non-weight bearing position.
This feels great.
All right, good. All right, breathe. All right, let's go. Exhale. Good. A little bit. Exhale. Oh my gosh.
Got it.
It's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that the vertebrae are that tight. Okay, should not. Aren't you happy you popped in? No, that bone should be moving. I should have moved an hour ago.
Took a lot of work. You should be proud.
I'm happy you popped it. He's happy.
You did. Go ahead and turn your head left for me. Yeah, still restricted, but yeah, better. Turn your head right. Yeah, I would stop rotating right. That would be my. It's you until we improve that left.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Let me see. Oh, back. Let's see.
He's not giving up.
It's so. Man. Come on. There it is. Yes. Yeah, it's just that joint needs like a dozen times. Just that guy closed. It's like a hinge or a bolt that's frozen and gotten like Loctite on its threads.
All right.
Hi, buddy. You did great. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent job. Yep. Excellent.